Hey, what's going on, guys? Flying solo today. Sheets is going to be here for the live sweat show at 8 and 11 Eastern, excuse me. And we'll be doing a lineup build a little bit later, saying what's up to Rich B and M Tandell in chat. Guys, say what's up when you get on in here. I'm going to quickly go through sort of some of what I'm doing on this slate. I'm not playing a ton of lineups on the evening slate. Maybe it's because I was really bummed to have so much Dustin May, and having him get hurt in the first inning was no fun. No, that's not really why. There's a few ways I want to go, and it's going to be a little bit off the chalk. So I'm kind of excited about that. Main pitchers. There's 6 pitchers that I'm using. Strider, number 1. Corbin Burns, number 2. Bassett, number 3, and Cole, number 4. But I actually have a lot of Clevenger and Bello exposure, and I actually quite like it. I mean, I'm pretty good with having that. So that's sort of my entire pitching pool. Because of it, it's going to be harder to stack Seattle. Certainly not in my lineups where I'm playing Bello, but I do think that Bello is very viable, and I like the idea of getting a little bit different and playing the unknown Clevenger here today. I feel better about Garrett Cole without Vlad in the lineup. I still don't think it's a little risky. I'm skipping Eovaldi. I'm skipping Senga. I'm skipping JP France, even though I was interested earlier. And I'm just going to those guys mainly. I love Atlanta today. I know it sounds weird because you've got Nathan Eovaldi on the other side, who's been like the best pitcher in history in the last 4 starts. I'm good with it. I'm still going to play Atlanta, whether or not it's full stacks. There certainly will be mini stacks. They are my favorite place to attack, and I'm not going to suggest that all of you do the same, but that is what I am going to do. I also like Milwaukee. I also think that some White Sox I have more as mini stacks. I think a lot of people are going to like Houston, and I am going to fade Houston for the most part. I am also not fully stacking Seattle mostly. I'm definitely getting pieces, but not fully stacking that much. And same with Boston, little pieces here and there. I do think St. Louis, where you're not playing Burns, getting some Arenado, who's the hottest guy in baseball right now, 5 days in a row with a home run. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to play some Arenado. For those of you who are premium, I put my early builds up, and they're not going to change all that much before lock. So check out the builds in the premium channel for those of you guys who are eligible. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I just like on a small slate like this to get Atlanta at low ownership just feels like a really good idea. When outside of Acuna, I don't think anyone ends up like 10% owned, and even he will just barely be 10%. I just think I'm going to take the shot against Eovaldi. Hope they get to him, and hope he blows up a little bit early. Hope they get into that bullpen and just keep hammering away. So that's sort of my outlook of what I'm going to try to do. And right now, I mean, just to give you some exposures that I've got, they're pretty extreme. Contreras is my highest owned catcher. Oh my God, Cheats is here. I was just talking about how you weren't going to be here. How's it going, man?
I figured I'd stop in for just a second and just let you know what I was doing. I just got the summary, I think, of what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you were about to go through your exposures?
Yeah, I don't need to go through every position. I tend to do it only when you're not here. I was going to say I have Contreras in like half my lineups as my catcher. D'Arnaud and Yainer Diaz are my other 2 catchers. Darren Ruff, Matt Olson, and Ty France are my first basemen. Owen Miller, Ozzie Albies are almost exclusively my second baseman. Third base, Arenado, Austin Riley exclusively right now. That's all I've got at the moment. Shortstop, Crawford, Tim Anderson, and that's pretty much my shortstop pool. Outfielders, Acuna is my highest owned. Rosario, Ozuna, Kalenic are my next 3. And then I've got some Gavin Sheets and Tyrone Taylor. And Eddie, I mentioned Eddie Rosario, I think. A little bit of Teoscar Hernandez and Tyler Trammell. But mainly, I'm just keeping it tight, not playing a ton of lineups tonight. Hopefully we can still have a sweat. But it's going to be a ton of Atlanta bats for me. So what are you doing?
Yeah, so I have Strider as my main pitcher and Burns as well. And then my secondary pitching options, guys I have more than 10% of are Bello, France, and Clevenger. And then as far as the hitting goes, I am kind of a sucker for that Cleveland value. So I got a good amount of that. And I'm playing Seattle and one as well. And one other team that I'm getting some of, like a good like 15% of, kind of could be kind of sneaky is maybe Chicago going after France a little bit. So,
The Cubs.
And I do have a couple of Atlanta's, not as much as you do, but I do have a little bit of that, and I do have a little bit of Milwaukee, but probably not as much as you do as well. Because again, I have like the sucker Cleveland crap, you know.
No, I get it.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So that's what I'm doing. Are you playing the NBA at all?
I'm actually not even playing the big buy-in one. I don't have a great feel for what they're going to do. I actually kind of like the first lineup I posted on our thing. I think you just my thinking though of what you do with this game for DFS, just try to come up with a game scenario that makes sense. If you want to play the Boston blows them out game one angle, playing guys like Derek White from Boston makes a lot of sense. Instead of the obvious Brogdon and Smart. So does playing Duncan Robinson, because if they get down big, they tend to bring him in, and if he hits a couple threes, he's got, he's going to go forever. I would actively try not to, because Tatum is clearly the obvious number one option as the captain, number two behind Jimmy Butler. I'm just not going to, like, any lineup I do have, I don't think I'm going to have either of those guys in my captain spot. I think it's going to be Jaylen Brown as my main captain. And I think the other wise thing to do is one of the Boston guards, Smart and Brogdon, they actually could be the highest scoring players, not named Butler. It does allow you to get some more other pieces in.
This is kind of a weird question, but wow. What's Brogdon's price? He's only 5,000.
Yeah. I think
you like Kevin Love at all tonight?
I actually don't. Not especially. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. It's just if you're talking about Kevin Love and Brogdon in the same price range, it's probably insane to play Kevin Love.
Okay.
Unless you're playing Brogdon also. But I don't actually know if is that right? The 5,000 doesn't sound right to me.
What?
For Brogdon's price.
Oh, I meant no. Hold on. No, I played the 2-day slate that started yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have a couple of lineups that are okay, and I'm just trying to see if I wanted to.
Yeah, I think that Brogdon is too cheap at 5K then.
Yeah, I have because I have two identical lineups. One of them has Brogdon, and the other one has Strus in the same price range.
I like both of those guys.
Perfect. So let him be diversified. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I actually think that, Strus and Duncan Robinson, they're probably going to need one of these guys to start to make some threes in this series to hang in there, because this is the most powerful offense that they face. Although actually, it's hard to say that with Milwaukee, but they only had 2 games of Giannis in that series. But they're going to have to. This is going to be a game they're going to have to keep pace a little bit.
Oh, I got a question for you. Who do you like more, Caleb Martin or Kevin Love?
Caleb Martin.
That actually is very helpful.
But that doesn't mean I'm right.
No. Only reason I say that is I have two identical lineups. They both have Kevin Love in it, so I'm going to use one with Love and one with Caleb Martin instead.
Yeah, nice. I just like Caleb Martin because I think the upside for minutes is so much greater than it is for Love.
Yeah.
But I did like. I thought 8.5 was a little bit too much to give. I feel like there's plenty of ways to backdoor cover. But if there was a blowout game, it feels like this could be a Boston blowout. Although last night the Lakers got blown out, but somebody forgot to tell them they came back and almost won that game. That was amazing.
Somebody did forget to tell them, didn't they?
It looked like that looked like the typical. You go into play in Denver and you're down 20 at halftime or whatever, and then you can lose by 40. But then they really made a run.
You don't mind the Tampa lefties, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying it's 20-mile-per-hour winds in from left field, so I wouldn't play the righties as much.
Right. I don't mind. I have a couple of Yankees. Nothing major though. Same issue, I guess. But actually, Yankees against Bassett, right? I don't. So I have a little bit of that. But in general, just stupid Cleveland, stupid Seattle, stupid the other one. Not expecting too much, but we'll see. Dude, I'm hoping that hoping we get to root for your Atlanta later. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun, man.
Because we're all going to be rooting for Strider anyway, so we may as well be rooting for freaking.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, it's there's none of these stacks make as much sense to me. Like today, I just don't quite like nothing. Even where it makes like it's like, oh, but dude, is that really an upgrade? And then Houston, but they're going to have some ownership, and I don't really like them that much. I mean, I don't think Houston has scored. I think it's been like, what has it been, like 30 days since they've scored more than 6 runs or something like that. They just haven't exploded. So if you're playing here, like I actually wrote that down earlier. I was like, if I'm playing Houston, there's no way in the world you can.
The one thing I would say that, by the way, is that, well, this is better for me.
Yeah.
Is that, if we're doing this for 11, the games could be over.
Hey, that's very, very likely, actually. But that could be kind of fun, though.
If that's fun, that's fine. And then we'll just go straight into PGA.
Yeah, and we'll talk quickly a little bit about whatever happens in the basketball game, because it's probably going to be just at the tail end of that.
Oh, well, that's what time's the bat? Oh, now I got to play.
5:30, so it'll probably be like 8:15, 8:30 that it ends. So it's going to be like we're going to literally get like the minute by minute sweat.
Okay, no, that'll be over probably. What starts at 8:30?
Yeah, 8:30. 11:30. It starts at 8:30 Eastern. Yeah,
that's fine. We'll spend some more time on PGA. It's perfect.
Yeah, sounds good.
At least I know I'm not going to be a 1 a.m. deal, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, we won't have it as long tonight.
All right, so I'm going to get going. I like the I kind of like the Atlanta, kind of in there. I think I like that.
I really sold myself on it. Whatever it's worth. I have 7 Atlanta players in between my 2 big buy-ins on DraftKings. I have a 5-man stack and a 2-man Atlanta in between the two big buy-ins.
Yeah, I'm going to come out as being insensitive here. Nick is like, any thoughts on the Doyle Brunson loss? Yeah, I mean, sucks when anybody dies, if you want to know the truth. And I mean, I didn't. Obviously, he's a big legend of poker, and it's a sad day when anybody dies. I'm not. I don't. You're talking to someone who just lost their brother 2 weeks ago, so I'm not particularly extra sad that Doyle Brunson died, if you want to know the truth. But yes, it is too bad. The one thing I will say is that, and this is kind of like comes part and parcel with poker, that it is kind of neat to have a game where, well, because it's not really physical, that you could just keep being good at for a long time, And even though the game changed a lot, he was still really, really good. You know what I mean? Right to the end, So, and I don't think that they had many enemies, which is kind of rare in poker. Whatever enemies he had, I think he killed a long time ago. I think not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All the stories you hear back when they were growing up and stuff like that. But yeah. But did you ever play with him?
A bunch of times, yeah.
Did you? I played a grand total of 1 hand with him in my life.
Oh, really? It was weird. For some reason, I don't know what was happening. It was we were sort of joking. The first World Series I went out for the whole series. I swear, the first 9 tournaments, we were at some point at the same table.
Really?
One of them was for a full day. And he was always very friendly to me. I also played with him in some charity events. But he was always very friendly to me. We got into a little Twitter war a few years ago during the insurrection or whatever. But other than that, not a Twitter war, a little bad, whatever, just a disagreement on that. But he was always very, very nice to me and seemed like a decent enough guy. What's up to my man Brooklyn Juice in chat? Good to see you, man. And yes, you know it, man. We've been hitting the plates. Finally got my home settled and everything. So going to the gym every day. It's been very, very good. And I'm looking at Banks's question here. If you were to play Atlanta bats, you use, are you fine with Cleveland as a secondary? Yes, I'm totally fine with Cleveland as a secondary. I also think the cheap bats from Milwaukee would be another one you could look at. That's where I'm at. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to get out of here pretty soon too. I don't know if we have a whole lot more to go over on tonight's stuff. I will be in Discord and the premium all the rest of the night. I would encourage people to check it out. We have Kobe. I don't know if Kobe for Life's in the chat, but dude, this guy is super sharp, and he really, really, his basketball takes are I don't trust hardly anybody's that I read, but I really like his, and they're really good for DFS. So I would encourage you guys, if you're not in there already and you're a premium member, you should be in there. He pops in with his thoughts here and there, and I actually really liked what he said in the early in the Discord today. So,
and meanwhile, I'm told you I went in there and picked up $48.48 times however many packages you had.
There's a lot of them.
So I got in there, and I put you in the Discord. I mean, only because I'm lazy. I put like the same markup for everything. If anybody's thinking of buying like the 4444, make sure you buy Bobby's. I mean, mine's like a total ripoff compared to his.
Don't
so
trust
make sure you buy his.
That sounds like $1 million winner to me.
What are you charging? 113?
I think it was 114.
114? Only because you actually think about it. You know what I mean? Like and know which are good markups and which are bad. I'm just so lazy. I just put like 120 for all of them.
No, that's fine. No, I mean that's fair. It just
because I'm giving people a break on some of the other ones, so they can,
absolutely. You're definitely There's other ones that I charge a lot more than you, so it totally makes sense to me.
So so this is definitely the when one of us is winning. I don't know which one. But
hopefully one of us can take it down.
One of us is definitely winning. 100%, guaranteed.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand the question from Brooklyn Jews. Try and explain this one to me. I don't know. Oh, Luis Robert Alvarez Judge. Judge isn't playing. Judge is playing that. I'm sorry. Judge and Adolis Garcia on FanDuel. I'm pretty sure the answer there is just simply always Judge, especially in the lefty-lefty. I actually prefer Kyle Tucker to Alvarez tonight because there's stolen base upside against Smiley, and Alvarez will never run, and Tucker will. So Judge would be my favorite of those guys. I do like Arcia though, for what it's worth. As like a no one's going to play him. He could hit the one home run off of Strider that Strider gives up for the next few months. You watch Strider come out and give up like 3 runs and still end up putting up like 35. Like he'll give up 3 runs in the first, he'll strike out 15, and then pitch 5 innings. All right, I think I'm ready to get out of here. Sheets, are you got anything else? I don't know if there's a whole lot more to add.
Yeah, for those of you again who didn't hear earlier, so I'm away for the weekend, and the big sweat. Well, obviously hold on, I'll see you guys at 11. I'll talk to you about that at 11.
Okay, all right.
You're not going to be 2 big sweats for this week are like all the golf.
Yeah.
And my MMA thing, which is
oh yeah, your MMA. That's the really big one.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm down to 40, and I'm up against like all good players, and I got to get 15th. Okay. 15th out of 40. That's what I need, and I've been thinking about it. I mean, I'm between like 3 different lineups, so I'm right on it. I need to get one. There's one like super sharp guy who puts out his thing on Friday, and I'm just a little nudge for a couple of. I need a little bit of confirmation before I pull the trigger on 1 or 2 guys.
I like it.
And I guess that's it.
All right. Well, good luck, everybody, and let's crush it tonight. Good luck.